Greetings, this is me again, Zahra. This time I've come for the ex-Muslims. Safety and protection. I find this in Shia Islam, in my former religion and sect, school of thought, as they call it. Very, I can't speak properly. I think they want to get me, whatever, whoever they are, want to get me into trouble. Last time I joked on this comedy, and so the president ended up going to Pakistan, UAE president, seeing, I was on Facebook, like, ring, 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 ring. Zahra has found out. So MBS and MBC. Zahra, this is, yeah, this, they want to get me into trouble. Okay, this apostasy punishment is in Shia Islam too, right? And blasphemy and all this. What they won't tell you, what they don't want to quote, their tafsir, Maududi's tafsir, and show you. Like, they don't think these Muslim, uh, who, they don't think, they don't believe this is cruelty, right? If you read Maududi's tafsir on this, although in Shia Islam also, on apostasy, in Iran, if you don't wear the hijab properly, the state has imposed this on women, and you can see females when they come of age. Hijab mandatory. I've been telling myself to forget the Sunni cruelty in this and look at your former sect, school of thoughts cruelty. Don't say anything to Prophet Muhammad. We will, even in Shia, right? So blasphemy, um, and who listens? Blasphemy in, so they even, I think the Arabs here, the authorities concerned, they've used these Pakistanis, this recently Pakistani supermarket, they've used seeds against me for the weather so that I would be so, they're hurting me. And I'm like, so, but that's the Sunni side, or maybe even the Shia Awqaf, as they call it here, who should be deciding against me because I was a Shia, right? So look at this, the cruelty, they don't realize how cruel Joffrey school, the Joffrey jurisprudence, blasphemy against Islam, the Prophet, or any of the Imams. And they had told us that Imam Ali didn't take any action. Muawiyah was, you know, um, against the Imams. They told us only against the Prophet, right? Blasphemy. If you say anything against the Prophet, not the Imams. They told us that Muawiyah used to get Imam Ali abused. Imam Ali never took action on that against Muawiyah. That's because Muawiyah at that time was very powerful, I think. So there's a hypocrisy in this religion. Like, when you're powerful, you can get them when you're, because, the power is not because Imam Ali kept quiet to save his son and didn't like acquiescent, like gave up, that fighting for that I am the Imam, chosen Imam, against the caliphs, Abu Bakr first, second, Omar bin Khattab, third, Rashidun Caliph, the Sunnis take third caliph, so Uthman bin Affan. This, and what is the punishment? In case the blasphemer is a non-Muslim, he's given a chance to convert to Islam. So this is what, perhaps even on that, um, keep fighting them. Surah 2 ayats 190, 191 and 192. So this is their cruelty and they don't see it and no one can help. United Nations, I'm advocating for myself here, as for the safety. This is not unacceptable. Like religion should not be because it's our identity, because we are, this is our ownership, or religion, or, we were born in this religion. No one should say anything because Allah is the true Allah who defames polytheists, their idol females, right? Worst of creatures. He can do it. And telling the Muslims, excuse me, not to do it. Look at the reason. If you revile as if this, and see, I had to prove, right? Because they could come for me in this anyways. Shias can come for me against, so all this blasphemy. I can't even be punishable with death if the blasphemer is a Muslim. These Shias are cruel, right? Who believe in this. Like, they're made to believe in this because of their religion. So I went insane comedy on Facebook. Why are you getting yourself into trouble with the Sunnis? Let the sheikhs alone and the crown prince of Saudi Arabia. When your own Shias and the United Nations or the European, any human rights won't put sense in these Shias. Believe in this. Whatever cruelty, jahilat, what is in the Arab Muslims, whichever, like in Egypt, Sunnis doing this, but look at the Shia. Like, we can't say anything against the Imams to be punishable by death. This is Wikipedia has given this. Islam dash has given something else, and beating the women, imprisoning them until they recant, insulting the Ahlul Bayt, blasphemy and wretched hearts. The Shia went to even insult. No, they didn't. Ahlul Bayt, I mean the wives. Mahaja, you see, they have these Sunnis and Shias, they have this conflict. Duke University, Blasphemy and Apostasy in Islam. Debates on Shia. Mohsen Cadaver explores the subject of blasphemy and apostasy from the perspective of Shia jurisprudence. Now, how cruel. Just because you're this Allah, I had to prove that this Allah is not true. They would call it blasphemy. Is it lawful? Insult. They call it insulting the Prophet. Look, like for example, in the Quran, of course, this Allah is not going to say to the wives of the Prophet that since you've, okay, for truth, we could leave Islam because it's not finding out it's not a true religion. Not for hayat dunya, not for the life of this world. and its zenith, adornment, as put against the wives who want to leave Allah and the Prophet. And all the time it's like insulting the Prophet. Look at the words they use. This is jahilat, cruelty. It- You know, that kind of like we call it the before the advent of Islam, jahilat period, the period of darkness, zulumati, right? This is all they know. Insults the Prophet. But if they prove the Prophet a false prophet, this is the height of their zulumati, the darkness that Allah has put them in. This Allah. Okay, in United Arab Emirates, I have just learned. I'm not sure what it is. For those who leave through a Kuwaiti at Goldie Ghamari's channel, I subscribe to, and I want to know about Sudan. If UAE is doing any, you know, anything against the Sudanese human rights violations there. Okay, so I somehow found this, and so and the Kuwaiti Johnson said that in the UAE, at least apostasy is apostasy without apostasy. He didn't say anti-blasphemy, just that if you leave your religion, they won't say anything. As long as you are true and loyal to the country. Does the Quran stipulate a worldly punishment for apostates or even blasphemers? This book tells the gripping story of Rafiq Taki, an Azerbaijan journalist and writer who was condemned to death by an Iranian cleric for a blasphemous news article in 2006. These 12 are Shias. Oh God, Iran, in Pakistan also, I think, right? Delving into the Quran and Hadith, the most sacred sources for all Muslims. What does he explore? The subject of blasphemy in this book, and apostasy from the perspective of Shia. If he says that, I don't know. I haven't read this book. Anyways, the Shias are very cruel if they practice this and they think this is okay, like killing on blasphemy, insulting. They find the truth against Prophet Muhammad and insult. Forget Sunnis. How cruel can these Shias be? This Jafri sect. Here, they might find it very good now. They've, even some have gone to the European Parliament, UK, in the UK, and complaining that in Pakistan there was genocide of Shias. I don't know. I think they would blame foreign powers now, but whatever it was, who ignited this, fueling the sectarian again in Pakistan. Whoever was, they had to go to the European Parliament, to the UK Parliament, or ex-judge, right? I saw that on YouTube. So, okay, my channel, maybe a very cunning, cruel Shia, Iran and Pakistani, right? Especially maybe even in Africa, wherever they are, if they practice this, then they'll look. They call it insult, insult. So I had to prove it, right? And recently, coming across this, that God, these people can be so cruel. And I read in Al Islam, what's the Shia website, for the females, imprison them, keep beating, keep hitting them, maybe even in that, putting them in Iran, they can, who cares? They could be raped there, molested by the whoever Iranian security guards in that prison. What's it? The Iranian prison called? Avon? What's it called? Iranian prison. These people are, if I say they're cruel, they're really terribly cruel. Like, God knows where. Irani prison. They put these human rights violations. What's it called? Was it Evan? Even or Evan? Yeah, this one. These poor women who haven't done a job properly, or you know how they're taken aggressively. Where's the United Nations? I have to advocate. Perhaps even the Christians have a soft corner for the Shias against the Sunnis. But you know, when it comes to recently, like I felt that they were sending these, they were connecting me with these men on this metaphysical level and sending these men's voices, male voices, and all. Oh, they've been doing this. They've reinforced it, and I wasn't getting it. You know, sometimes, like in the madness, you don't get it. You're like underhanded stuff, or oh, it's been going on since they won't let me get well. So I was like, Allah, Allah. Like I'm supposed to say, oh God. I usually use the English word for God, not Allah, Allah, Allah all the time in pain. So even the Shia here, Okaf, right, could say, give her, beat her up and all this. Really cruel. In Dubai, UAE, what can we say about that? And I was stupid on Facebook to do this. If I say anything against Sunni or the president, or that's because I'm compelled and they're trying to get me into trouble. And like my brain hasn't grown or something. But I have to do this as much as I'm advocating for my safety and for the safety of apostates, ex-Muslims, apostates in Islam around the world, wherever it is, in Pakistan, left, right, and center, in Iran, in maybe Saudi Arabia, anywhere in the Arab world, Egypt, Africa. If you, and also, so I had to give my reasons that I'm not insulting the prophet, but calling spade a spade, a false prophet, a false prophet. And why would you? Then, you see here, Allah said, because in Surah, where is it? Surah Safayat. And then if you read, rightfully so, Maududi has represented, given the proper tafsir of this ayat, at least to this effect, right? Who is more unjust, Allah says, right? Oh my God, this is cruelty, crazy cruelty to, like, It's like intoxicated in this madness. Who is, the people, it takes just a little bit to be intoxicated in this religion. Our religion, and who do you think you are? Kill her, beat her up, imprison her. This is how even Shias can get into this crazy with, that intoxicated cruelty. How dare she say anything against Fatima, the Prophet's daughter? Sufis call her the creatrix. Some Sufis, Shias from Father, the originator, and God knows what. How dare she say this? They can say anything against these Radha, Sita. These were just plain women. I've read in Imam Ali Raza website. So if I tell myself if the UAE authorities, these Arabs, cruel, Jail, we've known, why would you say anything against the Sunnis when your own Shias are so underhanded or using Pakistanis, Tamur, and, like men, right? Because in their religion, you see, they have to be true to themselves. Who would be more unjust than he who invents a lie? But they're not even true to themselves. Actually, if the Muslim Brotherhood and the Palestinian and Hamas and Qatar, they're the ones who are representing this kind of. See, if you look at these ayats, they are right. Aren't they right? Even the Shias, who would be more unjust? And Allah calls them al-zalimeen. You see, al-zulm, it's from zulm, right? Oh my God, Surah 61, ayat 7. So up till here, like then Maududi exaggerates. What if the person is giving, like, if you say anything, invent a lie against Allah, declares the Prophet sent by Allah, declaring. So if you, excuse me, this is for disbelievers, non-Muslims are in danger. Actually, this is the religion. You see, the 12 Shias, I don't know, they don't understand that those verses, like Surah Fusilat, who has more goodness than one who invites to Allah with goodly exhortation and repels evil with what is good, and that makes their enemy become as though he was their bosom friend. You see? So this Jahilat, if I prove this is not insulting, this is not blaspheming for the safety. Okay, now UAE, we found out on apostasy, anti-blasphemous. They don't punish, right? They let go. I mean, free. They let go. But before, and the other, have the UAE thought about other, the, I mean, the president is one of the heads of Islamic State, right? Not the ISIS, but I mean, looking at these ayats, right? The ISIS and the Muslim Brotherhood, they're right. So The United Arab Emirates president, what was I saying? Mm, who would be more, he's the head, I heard it from Imam Tawhidi, keep about, his father's greatness and all this, right? Baba Zahid, but like in Wikipedia I read, I don't know. So I followed that, what I read, right? But anyways, for them, this is blasphemy. Like, they don't understand that if I'm invited, let's suppose I'm a non-Muslim here, right? I'm invited to Islam. How can I be most Zalimeen, huh? When I can prove, when I can prove that this religion, Islam, is a false religion, that this Quran is from other than Allah, with contradictions, taking the circumstantial in context and showing you why at times it is not necessary, and or even the context, the Islamic history way, the way Maududi describes it or puts it, is not to be taken, or the way Ibn Qatir, Sunni Muslims, and they insist. Now, since the Sunnis have insisted and the Shia, read in context. So, oh, that doesn't mean I follow their narcissistic ways and their ways, or their cruel, whatever, narcissistic or cruel ways, right? My research, I mean, I had to prove that this, because I proved it. So when I can prove it, it's no insult. It's a false religion for me. Why should I? And and recently I felt violated by a man connected. So I realized, oh, what they're doing to me here is they're torturing me, but it kept me in pain. They're sending Pakistanis under, they're the United Arab Emirates, the Shia organized Awqaf here. Right? Yes, you can trouble her and use my whatever distance mind control from Pakistan, Karachi. Use that and enforce it and kept me in pain and all this. I didn't realize actually, I was in this, even Shias involved with the Sunnis, like Damour said, right? So I felt violated. I was like, the male's voice was coming inside of me and all this. Like, I said, if your daughter gets raped, what if the polytheists had won and they had Yazid, right, in Karbala? Because the Shia say Yazid was a hypocrite and he was a polytheist. But, outwardly he was doing his to take revenge. And you see, about hypocrisy also, I thought about it, about my religion. Like, I was like, okay, why did they become hypocrites? Like, how? When I was in Karachi, so I remember Allama Rashid Rabi's majlis that it describes, Surah Baqarah gives the description, ayats give the description of hypocrites. And so I was like, okay, let me see how they became hypocrites. Like, why they became, okay, they took the covenant first, they accepted the covenant, like the Bani Israel and all, and then they went against it. All right, that's when the hearts hardened and all this. But okay, I understood that. But then recently, when I came across re-examining the Quran ayats, this ayat, Surah 4, you see, if there's an element of force, Surah 4, ayat 47, We used to like take that ayat, Surah 6, Surah 2, ayat 62, that they're saved, they have no fear, the Jews, Christians, Sabians, and the Magi's, right? Or the Magi's, they have no fear. Oh, so Islam is so great, right? Very peaceful and all this. But what about this ayat? O you who are given the book, we have revealed, confirming. So the point is, right? Allah says here, Allah is compelling them by threat, right? Giving them a threat of defacing, obliterating their faces. So if there's an element of force in a religion to embrace the religion or fear, then they're not doing it with the heart, right? With all their being and properly. So then, of course, hypocrisy would be there. Actually, then this is what creates hypocrisy. If you force people against their will, I know, you're supposed to fight your nafs and soul against your soul, but even Hazrat Yusuf couldn't, unless Allah had mercy on him. Surah Yusuf ayat 50 something. So there that, and I saw many contradictions and unclear ayats, which the ayats that should be, that have to be clear. So hypocrisy, we can't blame these hypocrites if they become hypocrites. They're forced to come out of their religion, their culture, identity. Jews, Christians, Magi, whoever are given the book, Kitab. So hypocrisy could be to, if there's an element of force, then you can't blame these becoming hypocrites. Forced, like the polytheists, forced to leave this religion. To leave their religion, whatever they believe in, and accept this religion. Then you can't blame them for hypocrisy. So this, care to see. So I had to, this is not due to blasphemy or insulting Prophet Muhammad. First, I had to prove that Islam is a false religion, and then protection for the ex-Muslims against apostasy. So what would the UAE say, right? Since they say we've allowed apostasy, anti-blasphemous. But here, for Surah Fussilat ayat, any disbeliever who is invited, so I think each and every non-Muslim should be invited to Islam. And if they turn back from this invitation, then this is blasphemy against every non-Muslim disbeliever, even now. According to Maududi, definitely shows me that blasphemy comes from here, and they're called al-Zalimin. And this is not the only ayat who are the most unjust and who are the most unjust. Allah keeps repeating this in many ayats, right? In Surah. Oh, the true religion that he may make it. Allah keeps repeating this. Surah 32, ayat 22. And who is more unjust than one who is reminded of the verses of his Lord? So reminded, maybe they were told before also, like Allah said, am I not your Lord? When in that state of the souls. What ayat is that? What number? I've forgotten. Surah Araf? Ayat. Am I not your Lord? Made them bear witness to this, to their Lord. So they should be reminded, this should be in the memory, and it should be coming out from inside then, in some memory box or some compartment, memory compartment. It's a reminder. So, or should it be in the memory? Should you not remember? Okay, it's a reminder, it's not a remembrance. Reminder of what is in your memory, what was already told to you. Is it like that? But anyways, the point here is in Surah 32 ayat 22 again, Allah says, who is more unjust than one who is reminded of the verses of his Lord, then he turns away from them? Indeed, we from the criminals, now he calls them mujrimeen, will take retribution. Yes, Allah will take retribution. But see, Allah calls them, and then Allah has used the Muslim believers to, you know, punish them, disgrace the polytheists through me. Uh, fight now, fight them, this and that. You know, like I didn't kill you. Oh, sorry, I didn't kill them. Oh, sorry, you know, they've tried to break me to a great extent. The authorities with the Shias here. Okay, so these, I'm sorry, I have to say this. Uh, even though on YouTube they might complain against hate. Hate. Where does hate come from? For God's sakes, let me be my own. Like, I can't appeal to the United Nations. I'm advocating for my rights. But here, they'll get me anyways. They've used Pakistanis, supermarket. They've used Pakistanis here. And it wouldn't be surprising that the UAE has used Sharif Khan. And my father was very diplomatic in saying that this is the safest country. This is not the safest country for blasphemers, apostates. It wasn't. Just a while ago, UAE had strict rules on against apostasy that even Google hasn't recorded the new rule that Jassim, a Kuwaiti, said. So these Arab Muslims, cruelty, right, who believe in this, they're made to believe in this. Allah says in the Quran, He will punish them. Then why is there punishment for them in Muslim countries? For apostasy, like some dissenting, even Shia religious scholars and Sunni religious scholars and others say, why punish them for apostasy? Allah has not put in the Quran. The Quran only would say this. But of course, not the Shia, because the Imam says, punish them for blasphemy, apostasy, 12 Shias. And even Ismailis, they told me, what are you saying on Facebook against Prophet Muhammad? This is, apostasy. Respect, this insult. Don't insult Prophet Muhammad. On Facebook, I was trying to help them. When in the UAE now recently, God knows if this is true or not, right? Uh, I heard from Jassim Kuwaiti. Oh, example, sorry. In the UAE, apostasy without blasphemy is, that's what I've heard. I'm not sure. Anyways, they could punish, the Arabs are also cruel. What they've been taught, this is like jahalat by their religion, and they haven't even al-mujrimi, Surah 32, ayat 22. No matter what you tell them, even these Arabs, Muslims in the Muslim countries, Muslim world, jahil as ever. They won't change. And once they get offended, oh my God, like they have no forgiveness, no clemency, nothing. They give tit for tat, sure, this, that, It's really like cruel and very, like, so who am I? I'm just 447. Oh, so here again. The Quran is clear and explained in detail, then why need context from Islamic history and tafsir? And why should we go to the Islamic tafsir? What kind of people? Look at these, the brains. Where I mean, sorry, how to put it? Look, they keep demanding, they keep ordering us, they keep lying. Your Allah, why? This is not the way that we take your context. So if we take Maududi's context, then I'm sorry to say that the Muslim Brothers is right on Surah 4 at 88, right? Kill these hypocrites. Meaning, if we take Maududi's tafsir on Surah 4, don't let me say it. The UAE, America made them come together for the Abrahamic, right? America did. But so then the UAE, according to these Maududi's tafsir on Surah 4 at 88, is a hypocrite. And they should be killed. Tawbah. You see, Loay al-Sharif, sorry, I don't want to use Tawbah. I mean, this is sorry, not Tawbah in the sense that, it's, I mean, how to cruel. So that poor guy, al-Sharif, Loay al-Sharif, according to Quran ayats and Maududi's tafsir, Loay al-Sharif, what friendship, what Abrahamic accord with the Jews? Over from Ismail and they're from Isaac. No, I think these are the final, decisive, concluded verses against Jews and Christians and Sabians, where Allah says they have the right to practice in synagogues and all this. But then these are the conclusive verses which are in which Allah is threatening these. Surah 4 at 47. Those who have been given the scripture, believe in this. And Surah 4 at 40, Surah 4 at 88, Maududis. If hypocrites should be killed, so I was wondering, although there's an exception when I was doing this some years back, these ayahs, like Surah 3, with Surah 3 at 167, fight. Allah tells them to fight and wants to distinguish between hypocrites and the true believers, right? So, and he even says this, like, and they're saying, and whatever they say, like, if there was a fight, or there's another translation of this ayat, if we knew how to fight, so they're not even trained. If that interpretation is true of Surah 3 ayat. So I did all these ayats, and I was like, Look at the two interpretations, translators, huh? Surah 4, I think. No, Surah 3. So I did this first. I remember, if you have been with me, 167. When it is said to them, they have kept me in pain. They won't let me get well. Now, I'm advocating that no, you think this is blasphemy. According to you, this is apostasy. And if I showed them about the wives, there should be no killing for apostates, but now against anti-blasphemy, it's okay, apostates, but blasphemy, not okay. We will punish them, we will put them in jail. How dare they say anything? What? See, so if I give them, again, proving that the proof I found in the Quran against their Allah and Prophet Muhammad, against Islam, this is not blasphemy, please get it, right? No, but if the Arabs also, I heard, they get offended, then they play very wicked. Arab Muslims. Who's going to listen? They won't be listening. Now, to the wives, is Allah supposed... What if the wives say, well, we don't consider him a true prophet? Because we tested him. This is how I saw Aisha and Hafsa when their gods, when they're told, do they have eyes by which they can see? Do they have ears? So it goes from polytheism to idol worshipping, that ayat. And then Prophet Muhammad is saying, do what you can against me, you and your partners, Yani, right? Give me no respite. So I saw from my own, the way I took the ayahs, that Aisha, what if Aisha and Hafsa tested the Prophet to see if he came true to, he didn't. And you can see when Aisha and Hafsa didn't test him, when in Surah 33 or 37, take the proper Shia, Sunni tafsir, not Shia tafsir. Shia evades, Al-Kamedipuya evades the tafsir, this part of Surah 33 and 37, so that he doesn't have to say the Prophet or what the Sunni exegetes. And by the way, it's not one only, because Maududi had just, just because Maududi has put Allama Alusi, the way he said it doesn't mean that it's one. Maududi was also a Hanafi exegete from Hanafi jurisprudence. So the two at least, and if others don't say it like Allama Alusi, doesn't mean it's only one of the Sunni. Actually, look at the ayat. Like Allah is going to say, these people, these Muslims, some of them who come here, they don't even look at the ayat. They've got their minds made up for what, the Shia's tafsir is. That Allah, that here it is just what implied. They look at the implication of the ayat. They don't look at the direct effect of what it means. Even the Shias. So what you Sunnis coming here, laughable really, telling me that even your tafsirs are, what kind of jahilat? Okay, if I say jahilat, I mean the Zulmati Shia, the on apostasy punishments like beating the women, females, Imagine a 18-year-old finding out nowadays things are at the tip of our fingers. Information online. So many ex-Muslims on YouTube. Imagine an 18-year-old Shia girl finds out. And if she questions her parents or says, I'm on YouTube, I've seen, Father, what's that? What if they beat her, or, or you have become an apostate, they decide for her, or something. Just even when she's hiding it, what if the parents find out? They can put her in a room or go and tell the Shia, their Shia Aqaf, what is it called? And the Marja says, beat her until she recants, becomes a Shia Muslim back, 18-year-old, 17-year-old. And when it comes to, you, then you realize how solemn your religion is. Oh, and you won't stop this around the world in the Islamic countries. Oh, and blasphemy and apostasy, this is not blasphemy. Okay, respect. We'll respect all religions if you would not punish on. We're not insulting the religion. At least give us this much of right to prove why we left Islam. Not because just slandering those who slandered Aisha in context reading Surah Nur ayat, they were favored by Allah. How could this happen? Here we might make evident those who are hypocrites. Okay, so Allah favored them in the first place. And then, Allah said such a, you think it is nothing, but in the sight of Allah, it is very serious, grave, right? Sin, yani, and don't think it is bad for you, okay? So against whoever, and here it's, of course, we all know it's Aisha. So the context. Don't think it's bad for you, but if you say anything against Prophet Muhammad, and Aisha was the wife, Mu'mineen, and then Allah has conveniently favored the liars. Imagine these believing liars against Aisha, adultery, without having 4 witnesses. And they were told, because they already know that you need 4 witnesses for adultery. Not that this ayat came, or if this ayat came, then why would later on, when Allah is telling them, that it doesn't make sense, for God's sakes. Allah is telling them without 4 witnesses, and why didn't you think good of yourselves? Like, no, this is not adultery by Aisha. Mu'mineen. And Allah has favored these liars, didn't punish them with adhab and azim. Surah Nur ayat. Okay, and look here. Surah 3 ayat 167 when I was doing, with Surah, and then I went to Surah 4 ayat, I think 88 and 89 and all this. The believers being divided about hypocrites. So I'm advocating. Okay, UAE may have or may not have, I don't know, right, for sure. Punishment for apostasy, anti-blasphemous. And they consider this blasphemy when we're not insulting even. Advocating. Oh God. Come fight in the way of Allah and defend, they said. If we had known, battle. Now there are 2 different translation on this part. fight in the way of Allah. They said, had we known how to fight. Yusuf Ali says this, their own interpretation of this ayat in English translation has two different meanings. Is it, had we known? Or is it, had we known there was a battle? Or is it, had we known fighting? Had we known how to fight? I mean, look at these, I mean, human beings, and this making it worse, really. Human beings have, I don't understand life. And, okay, there's things in me also are, like, I want to be a good person. I couldn't, I tried my best. But, this makes it worse. Like, come sit down, see what is certain. If we say this, then we have all these YouTube, God knows who coming up, you know? So there's something I agree to Michael R. Smith, something I didn't agree to him. Like recently, I found his Facebook, like believe on belief. There was a quote he's put. I didn't share it because I don't believe in belief is better than doubt. I think it's better to be in doubt than to believe in something. Anyways, Jesus Christ has said, if you have faith as much as a mustard seed. So he's put it, at least in this, like if you're worshipping an idol, I looked at it, so it's actually your belief. So if through this idol you get to believe in one God, or this idol helps you to believe in a God, then why not use the idol? Because it's your faith, and God can come. God's all that can be in the idol, power, everything that he has created. Or why shouldn't God himself come in an idol? No, he's not able to. But he's able to do all things. It's beyond his majesty to come in his creation that he's created. He's limited. So it's not that how Allah has put it against the polytheists that they haven't given Allah his majesty. You see, if you go through examining the ayahs even for polytheists, you will see where it's impractical. Allah from other back doors like the tawassul, seeking means of approach to God, Him, Allah, and intercession. So you're supposed to call on prophets, messengers, and imams. It's just not practical. And when the Shias have to explain why they call on Ali to the Sunnis, what do they use? They have to use the practical sense that here, my father had to use, like, tell the Sunnis that, not the Quran ayats, right? He had to use the practical sense that if you need a doctor, no, if you Muslims need a doctor, you shouldn't be going to a Hindu doctor. Wasn't it a marja who went? According to these ayahs, they are al-Zalimin. You're supposed to invite them, otherwise you're hypocrites. And you should be killed in Islam. Maududi's tafsir on Surah 488. So don't hide this. We have to you should face it head on, right? It's very essential that we address this issue. So my father had to explain to the ones who come to you and say, why do you call on shirk, calling on Ali? Just a while ago, right, when I was helping the Shia and Sunni come together in unity, Sunnis were coming here commenting on my videos or what, Even now, like what were they saying? Oh, Allah alone. You know, I've checked these Farid's. Why do? Oh, Shias have divided the Ummah, the Muslim Ummah, calling themselves Shias. No, we Allah alone call on. That they don't see, they've forgotten. And now they're after apostates. Yeah, so we've put our lives at stake so that you Sunni and Shias can come together, unite, and what you will do if you unite, you won't leave a disbeliever alone. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to be this is insanity. It's like intoxicating and cruelty. Like no, in Surah No, inviting them, even the non-Muslims, taking Surah 61 ayat 7, Surah Saf 32 ayat 22. This is cruelty, crazy cruelty. So I wasn't blaspheming. I now it's not only help for the Muslims, now it's help for the ex-Muslims and against blaspheming punishments. Actually, Allah, the wives may have left Prophet Muhammad not for hayat dunya, leaving Allah and the messenger. They could have left finding out that this messenger is a false prophet. And what Salman, Aisha said, and we find this in Sunni Hadith, which the Shias would reject, how much the believing women have suffered. And human rights fight, women's right violation in the Quran. You're supposed to treat these women, although they're tranquility, and you get tranquility, Surah Rum, ayat 21, or each other going into each other, finding tranquility. But then the women are a field for these men. My blood boils. They can go into them as they please. What nonsense is this? To you, you don't want to raise your voices because raising of voices is like donkeys. Zahra is a donkey, according to Allah. Ayat, braying like a donkey. Yeah, they've kept me. Who do these Shia? Wicked. Come to your senses. You are Marja or whoever you are. Who went to? I heard that Sayyid Sistani or who was it? Who went to London for the heart problem. Which Sayyid was he? Sayyid Sistani. Excuse me? You see how they've evaded these verses of the Quran. You're supposed to invite the non-Muslims, not go in the countries and find. And when I was telling a Shia, no, you have to seek a doctor and also this and ilaj. It's, I was like, no, when I was doing, in year 2000, I was like, isn't my Quran enough? That Quran says, but oh Allah, make me to enter a good entry, make me to go for the good going forth, and grant me from near thee power to assist me and others, and say the truth has come and falsehood has vanished. Surely falsehood is a thing. And we reveal of the Quran there, which is a mercy and a healing to the believers, and it adds only to the perdition of the unjust. So these unjust could be just disbelievers in this. But however, when I was a Shia now in Dubai, I was talking to a friend. No. What? From an Indian Hindu, we're not supposed to. Not even from a Christian doctor or a secular system. atheist doctor. According to Surah 4, Ayat 88, and all this, and Surah 61, Surah Safat. And another thing is that Abraham said, "My Lord, when I get sick, my Lord heals me." Yet some of these Shias. So who went to London? Let me just check. I'm sorry, Sistani went. I think he went to Cromwell Hospital, went to London, where all the Shias who were, they went to meet him, and Yusuf that he was telling me, a marja for a heart problem. Yes, medical treatment. He traveled to London to receive medical treatment, Sayyid Sistani. Yes, Ali al-Sistani. It was reportedly the first time that Sistani had left Iraq in decades and may have been due in part to growing concerns for safety from sectarian violence. Also, the sectarian violence in this. Yes, it was Ali al-Sistani, the Marja, the Shia Marja, who traveled for medical treatment. Oh, the Shias will tell you, no, no, you can. But when I examined, what is this? First of all, how to, Surah 61, Ayat 7, you're supposed to invite the non-Muslims to Islam, and they'll blaspheme. They will definitely blaspheme according to this ayat. And Maududi explained it. How else do I see it? And Surah, save yourselves, non-Muslims. And Jews, every time now, recently also, again and again, these Islamists have gone crazy against the Jews. So in Manchester, 2 Islamists wanted to do such a shooting again. They were stopped. Ya Zalim, what kind of? So in Surah 4 ayat, look at these ayats. Now, how many times when I, on my own, without the tafsir, earlier on, like I had just become an ex-Muslim, look at this. What is the matter with you? And the Shias are saying that, no, no, fight them only if they fight you. Where do you take your eyes from? Shias. And how do you take this ayat? What is the matter with you? Your Aka Medipuya may have brought, what? Polytheists. Okay, these are what God knows. So, 2 groups, because I had to see it myself. What is God saying here? Isn't he deceptive? 2 groups concerning the hypocrites. So what is the matter with you? 2 groups, Muslim believing groups, concerning the hypocrites, while Allah has made them fall back for what they earned. Do you wish to guide those whom Allah has sent astray? And he whom Allah sends astray, never will you find for him a way. Then 89, they wish you would disbelieve as they disbelieved, so you would be alike. So do not take from among them allies until they emigrate for the cause of Allah. But if they turn away, meaning refuse to emigrate, in the cause of Allah, then seize them and kill them for their betrayal. That they disobeyed Allah, did not emigrate. Allah's asking them to emigrate, and they're not emigrating. So they are hypocrites. They want you to disbelieve. Moreover, they did not obey Allah. Oh my God. So kill them wherever you find them, moreover. Just wherever you find them. Assault, by the way, Shias. Don't complain when the Sunnis come and assault you and kill you. I'm living you in Pakistan. Or wherever the Sunnis think you are kafir and mushrik, the worst of creatures. And you're even worse than Jews and the Christians because you're in this religion. You have divided the religion. You don't call yourselves Muslims only. I know what the Sunnis say about you. You are hypocrites. Oh, according to this ayat. No, you emigrated. Oh, we went to London. We didn't change any, no. We lived in a Jewish neighborhood. We didn't go around saying, my mother or my father that. Surah 61 ayat. Taking it from there, Surah 61 ayat 7. Invite them. And then, like these hypocrites, you see, we didn't do in Surah 61 ayat 7 when we lived in London. We are hypocrites. Forget the Sunni Shia thing. Even if you are Sunni and you don't emigrate for the cause of Allah and invite the non-Muslims, and if they refuse the invitation, call them blasphemers and then punish them. And here also, why do you go to London and Germany and these foreign countries and for medical treatment? Isn't Allah enough? You are hypocrites. And then telling me, no, our religion allows treatment. Oh, Prophet Muhammad has said, for knowledge, to gain knowledge, you can go to China. China. Imam Ali has said, take knowledge from Kafirs because it belongs to you. Plagiarize, like steal it. And it's not stealing because actually Allah wanted to give it to you, but He gave it to the Kafirs. Kafirs have knowledge. Oh, what is this nonsense? In Najul Balagha, Imam Ali has said, and also don't see who is saying it, see what he is saying, even if he's a kafir, and learn if he's giving you good knowledge. China is not a Muslim country, hasn't been one. So Prophet Muhammad says, for knowledge, to get knowledge, go to China. Anyways, here, finally, you people are the hypocrites. So the Muslim Brotherhood is right, unfortunately, and you should be killed. You're going to Germany. You're not changing them, the non-Muslims. You're not inviting them. So they do blasphemy, and so you, or you say, oh, they did blasphemy? The non-Muslims did blasphemy? So you take your own interpretation of Surah 61 ayat 7 and Surah 32 ayat 22. Mujrim bhi hai. The criminals, they're called. Al-Zalimin, they're called. And here also, you see, believers turned hypocrites, kill them wherever you find them, slay them, take none of them, you kill them. Then Allah puts an exception here. And I saw the deception of this Allah. Except for those who take refuge. I was like, when it suits you, when you are less, David Wood is right. Those peaceful ayahs were abrogated. Shias, have some, use your, you've kept the peaceful ayats with these kind of ayats, and you're saying, no, Islam is killing the hypocrites because, these hypocrites, they cause such problems. So it's okay to assault them and kill them wherever you find them. So assault is allowed in Islam. I thought assault was not allowed, even against the worst of enemies of Islam. And and who would be without any reason your worst of enemy? Oh, then you take Surah Fusilat ayat and you disregard this ayat. Put it under the carpet. Right? So, you know how these Muslims and hypocrites, and Allah has made them like say this. Hypocrites are the worst and they'll be in the lowest abyss, except for those who take refuge with the people between yourselves in whom is a treaty, or those who come to you, their hearts strained at fighting you or fighting their own people. Own people? Yeah, Muslims. And if Allah had willed, He could have given them power over you. Why? He could have, oh goodness, what kind of Allah is this? And they would have fought you. So if they remove themselves from you and do not fight you and offer you peace, how terrible these hypocrites are. They're supposed to be killed. But here, Allah makes it softer. So, no, don't kill them if they have taken refuge, like I take refuge from your cruelty, Shia, on apostasy and blasphemy. Take refuge in United Nations, human rights, UNHR. No, I'm a hypocrite, I'm an apostate, but you can't kill me. Even though the worst ever for you, for your religion, against Allah and your Prophet. No, don't kill them. Now, since they've taken refuge with the people between yourselves and whom is a treaty, or those who come to you, their hearts strained, that come to you, their hearts strained at fighting you. Now, your Allah is showing that, but before that, He said, kill them. And how terrible these hypocrites are. And how can you even trust them that their hearts are strained from fighting you? They could stab you in the back. This is how terrible the hypocrites are, right? When they say peace, they don't mean peace. In Surah Baqarah ayat, how can you trust them? On one hand, your Allah is saying not to trust them at all. On the other hand, no, if the hearts are strained at fighting you, how can you trust them? I mean, look at how terrible they are. They cannot be trusted. And now your Allah is saying this. But before that, before this exception, these hypocrites, these are brave hypocrites whom you are going to kill. They're terrible. You can't trust them. They want you to disbelieve. They're planning against you, your Islam. All this to destroy Islam, to make you disbelievers. They're working against you with your enemies, with the disbelievers. And you know why they are brave? Because they didn't take refuge. Except for those who take refuge with the people between yourselves. And finally, even if they're polytheists, you're going to kill them. Surah Tawbah ayats. Or the Ali Kitab, you see. Allah will obliterate their faces. Finally, Surah 4 ayat 47. If you don't do it, Allah will do it, he said. He will do it. So these brave hypocrites who know that you are the ones, your Allah is the hypocrite, your Allah is the false Allah, you, Prophet Muhammad is a false prophet. You see how when they, just for your image, Allah, you know, just for your reputation, they, this Allah is all superficial, except for those who take refuge until, yes, we're so good. Allah says not to kill them now because these hypocrites have taken refuge. So if they remove themselves from you and do not fight you and offer you peace, oh, you can trust them. But if Allah were to give them power, they will fight you. And how can you even rely on these people now? But Allah is saying, rely on them. Since they've offered you peace, rely on that peace they've offered you. Huh? Allah does not permit you to harm them. You will find others who wish to obtain security from you. From you? Do you think we are like you? Believers? Cowards? Pretentious? For the image, reputation, good reputation. You will find others who wish to obtain security from you. No, no, no. From you, Zalimin? You are the Muslim Qawm of Zalimin, killing apostates and your Allah saying, those who have not taken security from you and to obtain security from the people. They've already, which Muslim believers, every time they return to disbelief, they fall back into it. Who would be such a coward to obtain security from you believers? Hmm? Why not Allah? Security from you. Only take security from Allah. You will find others wishing that they be secure from you. Yes, definitely. In this, put in this way, secure from you your assaults and your killing of hypocrites who don't take refuge in the ones you have a treaty with. Zalimin calm. God has made you. Wishing from their Allah perhaps that their Allah would secure them from you and your cruel ways. Secure from the people. Every time, fitna. So what is fitna here? So if they disbelieve, every time they are returned to disbelief, they fall back into it. Here, fitna is they are plunged in temptation to leave this religion and offer withdraw from you, not to restrain peace to you. Now you can't trust them again. These hypocrites. They offer you peace, then there's no way of harm. I saw deceit. What is Allah trying to say here? Because on one hand, He's telling you not to trust these hypocrites. Then He's telling you, here, they restrain peace to you and kill them, then seize them. Then, wait, they restrain their hands, then seize them and kill them wherever you find them again. So in 91 again, Allah is saying, excuse me, huh? So I was kind of shaken the first time I did these verses, reads, coming and truly analyzing them as an ex-Muslim, critically thinking, unbiased, taking off my glasses of this Shia Islam. We have made for you against them a clear authorization, license given. Oh, then see. So if they do not withdraw from you or offer you peace or restrain their hands, then seize them and kill them wherever, restrain their hands, yes. Keep blaming them as if you're going to restrain your hands from them. Will you restrain your hands? Yeah, here Allah said, if they offer you peace, but Allah could have given them power. They would have fought you. Allah giving them power to fight you. Then they would have been tempted. And then fitna is what? Every time that they are returned to temptation, they are plunged into it. So if disbelief is fitna here, for a while, just let this be because I see a lot of deception in your Allah. Surah 2 at 193. If you were honest. Anyways, fitna is disbelief. Fight them until there is for Allah. Religion is for Allah. Deen. Oh, so Allah is telling you they're fighting you, so fight them. And but Allah doesn't say punish them because they started fighting you. So keep fighting them and then make them Muslim believers. No, Allah is saying fight them until not is there fitna, disbelief. You can take it like this also. And becomes the religion for Allah from Surah 4 ayat 91. The definition of fitna. But if they cease, then there is to be cease from disbelief. So Akka Mehdi Puya putting it against polytheists only, idol worshippers, a part of even polytheism, not those who call on others as polytheists, but idol worshippers only. The idol worshippers, polytheists who are just idol worshippers, against them, not the polytheists who take human beings as alias to come near to Allah, or who call on their partners, and it would, or even their female gods, idols, calling on. So until religion is for Allah, here to take the meaning of this fitna, we should go to Surah, shouldn't we? Surah 4 ayat 190, Surah 4 ayat 91. But if they cease, then there is to be no aggression except against the al-Zalimeen. So UAE also, I think you should see this. It's not blasphemy I'm doing, but I'm advocating around the world for apostates in the Muslim world and non-Muslims also, and for blasphemers that you call us apostates. So you may keep silent about Pakistan, right? Pakistan, look at what Pakistan and other Muslim countries where the Shia Muslim, Iran, where they're killing, how they, on apostasy, taking land, beating the women, what the Shia Jafri sect does against these women, apostates. Now there's so much ex-Muslim, everything's free for us. Even the Muslim websites, material, free, Quran, tafsir, you name it. Books upon books free, archives. And United Arab Emirates, you will remain silent on that, your Muslim countries, and you will go and meet these, like recently, and remain silent on apostasy, Islamic blasphemy laws, and the strange case. Asharis assemble. Oh, look at this. In Pakistan, I often look at the online fatwas and talks. The Thulm. Oops. I need. One may ask, what is so strange or interesting? And please, Hindus, don't come here, or anyone telling me that I have to hide my information personal. You know, I'm as transparent as transparent. Let these cruel Muslims, let's see how cruel they are, how they keep punishing me. They broke my bones inside, even though I suffered and suffered. I've seen Shia suffer like anything. But no, kept on holding on to this religion. Hope that one day Allah will help us. My grandaunt died. When I get throat infection, I remember one grandaunt. When I get a stomachache, cancer, I remember another grandaunt, my mother's aunt from her father's side. When I get a pain in my heart, uh, left side, chest, I remember my grandfather, my mother's father. They were simple, good service. My grandaunt, Allah is testing us. Or what? Allah. My grandaunt used to say, there's no scarcity in Allah's kainat, creation, world, or universe. She asked me to pray for her before she got cancer, that may she never be dependent on anyone. When she had left her brother's house and went to her sister's house, apartment, Joseph. So, why would Allah give her cancer, stomach cancer? She told me not to be afraid of the jinns or occult and all this. My mother's one sister was into this nonsense. One may ask what is so strange or interesting about his case to both the Islamophobic press and Muslims. Islamophobic press? What do you mean? Is it not resoundingly obvious? Oh, and Mumtaz Qadri took the law into his own hands and killed a person. Ah, he was the vigilante. Islamophobic press? Surah 61, Ayat 7. Who is more unjust? Your Allah says. You are the ones, left, right, and center, through your Allah, putting things against us, blasphemers, against Jews. Your Allah has lied. When have the Jews said that Allah's hands are tied? Maybe they were telling the polytheists who didn't kill them that your Allah's hand is tied. Because polytheists had Allah and they were Jews, even though they may have said it to the polytheists and he took it, stole it. Oh my God, not this. Their Allah, their Yahweh. Your Allah has misrepresented ayats against Jews, called them blasphemers, meaning, but the word isn't used there. And you're calling us Islamophobes. Every non-Muslim you're supposed to invite to Islam, and if they refuse you, they are blasphemers. They've insulted the Prophet, they've insulted Allah. The only word you can use is insult. Yes, the one to protect the governor of Pakistani state of Punjab, Salman Taseer, who he claims was a blasphemer and therefore an apostate. Yes, according to the Quran ayats, go and read the Quran ayats. Your Allah, he definitely was.